Hello, everyone. Ryan Strebler here, and from all of us at National Tank Truck Carriers, happy holidays. In spite of all the challenges in 2020, NTTC and our membership know that we must move forward. Today, we'd like to address one of those challenges, which is having a substantial impact on our industry and each of our tank truck member companies: lawsuit abuse reform. Many of you heard the term tort reform or perhaps litigation reform. But at the heart of this issue is the need to stop the abuse which occurs when lawsuits are brought against trucking companies and the efforts to level the playing field for NTTC's members with the plaintiff's bar. In late 2019, NTTC Executive Committee voted to join a large coalition of transportation and insurance industry groups to take on the plaintiff's bar. Today, I have with me two NTTC members who have been extremely involved on this issue: Dan Cook of True North and the chairman of American Trucking Association's Lawsuit Abuse Advisory Committee, as well as Rob Sandlin, CEO of Florida Rock and Tank and first vice chair of NTTC's Executive Committee. At this time, I'll turn it over to Dan to share with our members more about the Lawsuit Abuse Advisory Committee and the reform efforts that are underway.
Thanks, Ryan. And I appreciate the opportunity to be here today to speak with NTTC members about this important initiative, and more importantly, to thank the National Tank Truck Carriers and its member companies for your commitment to this cause. Your contribution to reforming lawsuit abuse is critical to a broad-based industry effort, which we all know is essential to the health and the well-being of the trucking industry. As you know, claim costs are rapidly rising, and nuclear verdicts are now out of control. According to Case Metrics data, the average verdict against a trucking company in 2012 was about $2.6 million, and now it is more than $17.5 million. From 2010 to 2018, according to a recent ATRI study, the average verdict size for cases over $1 million has increased by 967%. It's just simply not sustainable. Many plaintiffs' attorneys are simply getting rich on the backs of hardworking Americans, including those in the tank truck industry. This abuse and the subsequent nuclear verdicts are leading to significant insurance cost increase and a general reduction in insurance capacity for motor carriers. At the end of the day, these lawsuits, which are often without merit or lacking any reasonable basis for the size of the awards, are driving up the cost of goods and services for consumers across the country. At the 2019 ATA MCE conference, ATA announced that lawsuit abuse reform was elevated to a Tier 1 priority, and the advisory committee was formed. NTTC was the first trucking trade group to step forward and join this committee, and is now a part of a very large consortium of industry and business groups that are working together to address the situation. The fight will not be easy nor quick, but we know that it is essential to the viability of business in America and the tank truck industry specifically. Improving the situation will be hard, but since we are in trucking, we have a shared affinity for doing hard things. The National Tank Truck Carriers has stepped forward to lead and be a part of the solution. Rob, would you mind speaking briefly to the objectives of the committee and what NTTC members might do to participate?
Thanks, Dan, and thank you to all the NTTC members who have become vocal and active in addressing this issue. The lawsuit abuse that is occurring and the impact on our businesses is just not sustainable. It is time that we draw a line in the sand and team up as a larger industry to tackle this challenge. Lawsuit abuse reform is based on 5 pillars, each of which NTTC members can play a vital role. Advocacy, which is critical at the state level, image of our drivers and equipment, research, communications, and development. The strategy will include a state focus. We will centralize a What Works library, focus on state legislative and ballot advocacy, state courts, and support grants. Education, we will create an education hub and state toolkits to create a consistent message. In public affairs and communication, we need to get the message out and educate the general public on the damage that is being caused by this lawsuit abuse. The NTTC is a key part of the trucking industry, is not in this fight alone, and the coalition of supporting partners is growing. The issue is not limited to trucking, but rather affects all companies with commercial autos. The detrimental impact upon business and the consumers is staggering, and we need to continue to get this message out. This effort will not end quickly, nor will some of the results appear until well down the road. That said, there are opportunities to get wins now. State associations are already stepping forward to offer their support on specific issues where we can get a foothold and create a template for other states to follow. You can directly track the negative impact that this legal environment and the abuse is having on our investment and, most importantly, jobs. It drives up the cost of insurance for all drivers, not just those in trucks, and makes consumer products more expensive. Our members are key employers in their communities, and many of us have relationships at the state and federal level with our representatives. A grassroots effort, much of which will occur in the states in which we operate, will be a key component of the overall strategy, and each of us can play a vital role.
Thank you, Dan and Rob, for your commitment in elevating the importance of lawsuit abuse reform and for sharing how members in the tank truck industry can engage on this issue. For further information on how you can support lawsuit abuse reform efforts, please visit tanktruck.org. I'd like to thank all of our members for your continued support of NTTC and the tank truck industry. We wish you all a healthy and safe holiday season.